I have the song you play during sex.
I actually don't play music.
Yeah, I could see you like have sex in utter silence.
Complete silence, please.
Literally, yeah.
Like pin drop.
You probably put on like cricket VFX sounds. What's up, buddy?
Fine,
You're just
stairs.
like a H&M mannequin right now.
Thank you. So are you.
Well, you got me today. I guess I kind of look like an art student at like SCAD. Got some questions here.
Yeah.
Let's chat, shall we? Let's see. What is the song that everyone hates but you love?
I'm gonna play it to you.
Yeah, you play that. That's the cue.
You don't need to listen to the whole thing.
What's the purpose for that?
I just love it. Love it. It's a great song.
Sure. All right.
It's pure avant-garde.
A song that I love that people hate. I don't know if I want to say hate, but 715 Creeks by Bon Iver. Anytime I play it, or at least when I play it around black people, they're like, what the fuck is going on right now? But I really like this song.
It's amazing.
I remember something. Heard the heron hurried away.
I think Bon Iver is one of the best songwriters. And I think the mesh between like the strong filters that he runs his vocals through, sometimes I guess can make it easy to get lost in translation of the feeling. And I think unless you genuinely took the time to read out what he's saying, you kind of it can go past you. You know, I think I've listened to his self-titled albums for years and didn't have a clue what the fuck he was even saying. Until I started reading the lyrics and be like, oh shit, this is deep as fuck. Like his songs are really deep. But every time I play it, people just think it's like demonic, kind of robot-y. They do, seriously.
Demonic?
Like, yeah.
Right.
Like if you're just on a night home riding and I play that and like if you like on an acid trip and you play it, then people are just like, this is really creepy. Yeah, I think he's so fucking sick.
Also, I think sometimes there's a strength in people not hearing what your lyrics are. You just feel it. You don't have to really think too much about the words. But yeah, it's a beautiful song.
Yeah.
What's the first song you ever memorized the words to?
I don't want to lie. So I'll tell you a different variety of songs it could have been. It could have been Jump by Criss Cross. It could have been Someone's Knocking on the Door by Paul McCartney. Somewhere Only We Know by Kane. Either that or maybe a Steely Dan song. This is all music my dad just played. One of my earliest memories is my dad just like very like unsafely riding with his infant in a car with the doors out while he just blasts music, just me and him. I woke up to music blasting and we'd go to, like right before we go to sleep, it's something blasting. He lived in music. I don't know if this is the exact first, but definitely one of them. Yeah, Paul McCartney and the Wings.
Someone knocking at the door. Somebody ringing the bell.
The trumpet gonna come in, the horn's gonna come in on the next time. That was definitely one of the first songs I ever heard.
It's great. So
and
great.
What was so cool, I think it's all these things that just kind of, without knowing, just made me the person I am today. Like when I was a kid, my dad used to have this really big CD book in the car. My dad used to like burn CDs. And like, when I started getting to an age of like being able to read, he just like let me pick the CD we listened to in the car. And he'd be like, pick something, play something for us. And I'd be going through the records and like, it kind of very early on just put me in a world of being so open to so much music.
Yeah, I mean, to be honest, it like explains a lot.
Yeah.
Like just from your musical sensibilities.
Definitely, and just the melodies, I mean, they were so great. My dad loved the Beatles.
It's also happy music.
Absolutely.
Like, and I noticed that, you know, that runs through your music is like, we sort of mythologize like sad music and sadness and depression and all these things, you know, like, and talking about your anxiety, whatever it is. Like, music is sort of seen as like there's so much pain in music, and there is a lot of the time, but it doesn't always have to go there.
You know
and
what I
even then, I know that you still, you know, I mean, on this record, you were talking about so many different things. There's pain, there's happiness, there's everything in between. But it is interesting, like that vibe. It's so sunny, and it's kind of what your disposition is in general in your music.
I think a lot of times as human beings, we focus on the negative emotions. And when we are happy or something's going good, we kind of just like feel like it's supposed to be that way. And we don't spend enough time like glorifying or appreciating when shit does feel good, because it's like, it comes off maybe rather normal. People, you know, spend enough time recognizing that, man, I feel good today.
Joy.
Yeah.
People ask me like, is there anything you'd do differently? And I think I'd write about the times I felt great more of the time. Because I think otherwise you put across this kind of false impression of yourself, which I think I did. I mostly just waited until I felt sad to write. For some reason, I had it in my head that like, this is the only thing people actually want to hear is when I'm sad. One of the things that drew me to your music was the sense of joy and playfulness. Like that's because that's how I actually am. That's how I want to feel.
Right.
So.
You remember the first song that
I remember the lyrics
like
to?
I think the first song that you ever learned lyrics to, yeah.
I mean, we don't have to listen to the whole thing because it's just it's, you know, you've heard it a million times, but.
Sitting on a block of the bay.
I never heard this. I never heard this.
Oh, I thought you were joking.
No.
Cool.
Home in Georgia.
Who is that?
That's Otis Redding.
Really?
Yeah. I believe he passed away about 4 days after writing that, or
Really?
after recording it, yeah.
What do you think it is that gave soul music artists their tone? Like, I feel like there aren't musicians who have that specific tone.
I think the way producers package those vocals means that we're not really exposed to their real true tone of voice. So like in most modern records, you've got pitch correction, which people know as auto-tune, but you can also, it doesn't have to be like straight hard auto-tune for anyone who doesn't sort of use it or know it. It's almost like every one thing you do to a vocal takes it one step away from feeling human. So like, if you compress a vocal too much, then that doesn't sound like the real dynamic range of a human voice, right? Because it sounds flat. You know, we have like, you know, dynamics. We go like, sometimes we're soft, sometimes we're loud. Like in that song, when he's loud, you really hear it. When he's soft, you really feel it. So it's like pitch correction, compression, and then sometimes EQ, which basically means taking some of the frequencies out and whatever. And it's like, we've just kind of like done this to the human voice to the point where it just sounds like microwaved.
I've like had this idea of these certain songs that I wanted to make, and I always think about like my favorite type of singing is like 90s black women on R&B records. It's just the tone of how they sung.
Like Brandy or something like, Brandy's got an insane
Kind of
tone.
more like Escape and Cut Close. It's like a black feeling, you know, that's like not really, that sound isn't really in R&B anymore.
Why do you think that is?
Well, I never thought about it until you just said what you said, which makes a lot of sense.
Right.
You know, that we manipulate so much that you get far away from a true feeling of something, and that helped me understand just a little bit of why things don't sound how they used to.
It's interesting to see like people's reaction to T-Pain being able to really sing.
Yeah.
And it's interesting how effects have kind of, for a long time, like people just didn't know.
Yeah.
Obviously it has an insane sense of melody, but like when you hear his actual real tone of voice, it's crazy. He's got a great tone. Listen, you want to use it as an effect, that's amazing. I do, and you do, and all of us do, but pitch correction is kind of like the face tune of the voice.
Absolutely.
Because once you've corrected the pitch of your vocals enough times, you start to feel like you're not a good enough singer because it's not like, unnaturally tuned. And actually, like, the things that we love about records like that is the real raw humanity. And like,
Absolutely.
if you went through and analyzed the pitch of Otis Redding in that song, it's going to be way less like on the exact notes as, I don't know, take a modern pop record now, it's like...
God, I was hoping you had the balls to call someone out. That's fine. Let's move on, actually.
do you know what? It's not that I don't have the balls, it's that I'm scared. No. I'm joking.
The last song that made you cry.
No, on a serious note though, you do actually have songs that make me emotional. But it's not the last song that made me cry. Okay.
You're full of shit, bro.
This is the song which is the last song that made me cry. It's by Monica Martin, who is actually on our album.
There's no secret, special code. Just accept we'll never know.
Ah, there's that note. Those notes.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Do you think that song is about her? You think she's speaking to herself?
Yeah. I love the in Go Easy Kid. In 20 years, kid, you're gonna look back and wish you grabbed it all by the throat. I really resonate with that line. I think that's probably one of the lines that gets me every time. I've lived an amazing life, but I just think I could have been more present. And I think I will have that regret when I'm older. I'm trying to remedy that now at 55.
Excuse me?
At 35.
Got it.
I was just seeing if you blinked.
Yeah, I was processing.
Because he thinks I'm 55.
That wasn't, it like registered a little late. It's like, what?
Yeah. I'm glad you questioned it.
Yeah. Last song that made me cry it'd probably be this record that I wrote it about my daughter.
Is it out?
No, I airdropped it though, so I'll just play you.
Oh, nice.
We're still working on it, but
So beautiful.
yeah, it was the first thing I kind of like.
Yeah.
It's like it's almost like I was talking to her later. You know.
I love that whole idea of you.
Yeah.
That a song that she'll grow up and listen to.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, I think it was just like when I was doing it, it was the realization of the situation. You know, like the realization of like being a father.
Yeah.
But it's like for me, it's like when you say it, vocalize something, it makes things feel a lot more real. So for me, I think it was writing those words down, saying them.
Yeah.
Yeah, it just made me feel the way. You know, the fact that like, damn.
It's really beautiful.
It's so funny. I don't think many songs have made me cry, but I think I wouldn't play it, but another one would be a song off of like my first mixtape. You know, because like for me, it's just setting like, man, I really have came so far. So I think to go back and listen to like our project from when I was 17 years old and like remember recording the songs in like the closet with a mic with a sock over it because I didn't have like, you know, anything to cover it. It's just like, it's a true humbling moment and like a moment of like grace. And just feeling extremely grateful for the universe and for the deck of cards that was, you know, dealt to me. So
it's beautiful.
Yeah.
So it's mostly your songs that
made
you cry.
Things that bring me back to. I didn't mean it like that. It's just like things that make me think of like my life. You know.
Yeah.
Like, cause my life before I was
just being
famous.
a prick. I'm not.
Yeah.
You have to answer that.
Yeah. Such a dick.
Okay. Well, you'll like this one. The first song you recorded that you felt was perfect.
I don't know if I've ever thought a song was perfect. I think that's a very unobtainable word.
Agreed. Should we say very, very, very good?
Yeah.
Happy with it?
Yeah. I think I have I think it'd probably be something off of Let's Start Here, probably. You know, probably Black Seminole, you know? The goal I had in mind for Black Seminole, after like being in my room alone many nights thinking like I could never ever do anything Roger Waters has ever did, to making that record, and like obviously by all means it is nothing like Pink Floyd. I never want anyone to think that's what I'm saying, but it just made me feel like I made a record that will be played for the rest of time.
I think it's an amazing song.
Yeah,
It's
thank
one
you.
of my favorites of yours.
Thank you.
For sure. And there's an extremely high energy sort of feeling to that song, like.
And I love
pretty
the
much start
fact
to
that
finish.
it can cohesively live in the same discography as like Poland.
Yeah, true.
You know?
Which,
Like,
by the way, obviously, you know, I played it as one of the songs that made me cry. I think that song's fucking amazing.
thank you.
I listen to it quite regularly.
Really?
I do, and I think it is a really fucking weird song.
It is.
I think it's one of your weirdest songs.
It is.
And somehow it still ended up being one of your most popular songs.
Yeah.
Which is crazy, because most people's weirdest song doesn't become their most popular song.
I stopped trying to like calculate things. I used to try to be so calculated and try to be like, oh, that song won't work. It doesn't have this many hooks or a bridge. Yeah, bro, that song was a true accident.
Yeah.
And I just stopped trying to like,
in what way?
well, we were doing Let's Start Here, and we had like a break when like my band members went to like get food or something, and I was just there and with the guys and engineer, and there was a Poland Springs water bottle on the table while I was just sitting in front of the mic, and it's always some walk around, always. So like I was just like, oh shit, like I really was like some shit. A lot of times like if I'm like I say if like I'm in the booth and like there's a glass window and I can see my friends talking or something, I could just like sometimes I'll sing about what they're doing on the mic, you know, and I kind of just was like singing. I took the walk to Poland, and that song would have never left my hard drive, like you said.
I mean, that sentence has probably never existed before you.
Right.
Like, it's probably,
Yeah.
there are sometimes like you hear something and you go, oh, that like order, sequence of words has never been said out loud.
I agree. Or a song like that.
Or something like that.
Poland fuck with me. They showed me too much love in Poland.
I saw you play it
Yeah, I
14
did
times.
that. Yeah, it went up.
Yeah.
Poland is sick. It is cold.
Would you take the walk there again?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'll take the walk there any day,
Great.
for sure.
I think my sort of truest self is probably reflected in probably one of my more successful songs, which is Retrograde. I think that's probably.
But you thought we was just gonna know that song? Like, my biggest song, Retrograde. Yeah, brother, we never heard it. So play it.
Sorry, I just forgot it's 2024. I will never introduce my own song like that again. You know what? No, I'm going to go with they're all perfect. I can't choose.
So it was the first one.
No, we're going to do Choose Me.
Okay.
No, we're not. We're going to do Current Anything.
How I told you if one day I woke and couldn't find the color in anything.
It's really deep.
Thanks.
Yeah, that's really sick.
Okay.
Thank God I don't have to play one of my songs out there.
A song by another artist that's so good that you wish you wrote it.
White Ferrari by Frank. Or I wish I could sing good enough to have made Florida, which was the record where he was just harmonizing.
Right.
You know what I'm talking about?
No, I don't think I do.
For me, I always thought it sounded like heaven. You ever have certain moments or sounds that kind of sound like, oh damn, this kind of sound like what it sound like to die, or this kind of sound like what it sound like to go to heaven, or this kind of sound
Totally.
like, you know what I'm saying? And I think that this song for me kind of felt like, sounds like to kind of like go up to heaven.
I found the one. Neutrogena Hydro Boost Hydrating Gel Cleanser.
Yeah.
Gently remove dirt, oil, and makeup, and instantly hydrate. Get
I feel
yours
it.
today.
Not my phone. Somebody needs to get YouTube Premium. That was embarrassing.
I imagine at this point, heaven might actually sound like that.
Like a YouTube ad? I love these.
Beautiful.
Like,
When he hits that, like that part of his voice is just pretty incredible. Isn't it?
It is.
Have you heard Talk Talk?
The band?
Yeah.
I know of the name.
There's an album called Spirit of Eden.
Wait.
Spirit of Eden. I think it's going to be your new favorite album.
I think I have that. Wait.
Ridiculously beautiful.
Eden. Because it goes from sounding like an acoustic song, then it just kind of shifts.
The harmonica that comes in.
And his voice is insane.
Voice is insane. It's a perfect combination of things. I think, I'm going to be bold and say this, it might be sacrilege, but I think our album, it reminds me of this album.
Interesting.
In terms of what it's, like, the intention.
Mm-hmm.
Like, they went in there and they just made whatever, no one knew what they were going to do, I think. And they just kind of made the most free
Sick
record. And,
I think it's definitely like limitless.
Completely limitless.
Yeah.
And it's the space in it, and like just it, even when drums come in, or it feels like it's just so organic and like it's one of my favorite albums of all time.
Yeah. What's your favorite instrument? Is it piano?
Yeah.
And you hate my favorite instrument.
Absolutely hate it.
Saxophone. Which I think the saxophone is arguably the sexiest instrument ever to produce the most soothing sound and the most cool, laid back sound. But I remember bringing out, when we were making the album.
What kind of sound?
Cool, laid back.
Yeah.
I remember being like, James, we need a saxophone on the album. He's like, absolutely, fuck not. You hated that idea. I was like, I'm not even gonna say who I said we should get. I was like, we need to get famous saxophone player. He was like, I think not.
Yeah. I'm
That's
sorry
funny.
to all the sax players out there, but I think if I could delete one instrument and its entire
not be a
contribution
saxophone.
to music, it would be the
Saxophone?
Absolutely.
Out of all the instruments.
Yeah.
It's like
No question.
marambas and like salt shakers and so many things.
Well, they're just in the background. The saxophone is the most, is like the guy at the party who's done like too much coke, and he's just like telling you about his new business idea and you don't give a shit.
That's harsh. I think the saxophone is like much more elegant and like unbutton a couple buttons on your silk shirt, chest hair thick, out right there, maybe one gold hoop earrings, cane gold, turned backwards.
Well, I agree with the chest hair.
Yeah.
I agree with the earrings.
That's saxophone.
But I don't...
Saxophone is like that cool ass uncle who you can't let your homie's mom be over when he come over, because he probably gonna fuck your homie's mom.
I mean, this could be the same guy we're talking about. I guess we just have different opinions on that guy. And that's all right.
Let's see what I got. I have a song you play during sex.
The song I play during sex?
Yeah. I really can't imagine
Do I have
you even having sex. I really don't want to imagine
Can you pass me the phone?
having sex.
Huh?
Yeah. And
I mean, that one's immediately, I know which one that is.
I figured that was gonna be the, yeah. All right, well. Yeah. I saw that one coming. Yeah.
Too predictable. I actually don't play music.
Yeah, I could see you like have sex in utter silence.
I just request
Like
complete silence, please.
Literally, yeah.
Like pin drop.
You probably put on like cricket VFX sounds and just go at it to the sound of like
No, you know what's
frogs
fucked
and, like,
about playing music when you have sex though is when if you hear a certain lyric, it makes you laugh. Well, for
so.
me, yeah, like I can hear the lyrics too well. Like I'm tuned into the lyrics, so if like
Yeah.
someone says something
Yeah.
like a little bit not the vibe.
Yeah.
So I would have to basically go through and tailor every song. They'd have to be like, I'd have to vet every single song on a playlist.
Would you say music is a part of your all-day, everyday experiences?
No,
No.
no.
That's the same with Drake. I learned when I hang with him, when I started hanging with him a lot, he rarely listens to music, versus except for like when he's recording, you know?
Yeah.
Or maybe like
Do you mean in the weeks he's recording, he'll
just
be
like in his daily life, you know? Like he's not like I'm gonna wake up, music, driving, music, showering, music,
Yeah.
eating, music, you know? Like he's more like a talking type of person.
Yeah.
Music when it's time to record.
Yeah.
I mean, sometimes he plays music in the car, but sometimes he'll ride in silence. Most times.
Yeah.
He's just not like, before we got as close, I used to think, I thought all musicians were like me and just like music was all everyday, everything.
Yeah, I know a lot of people who just don't really want to consume that much outside of what they make.
I just want to ask you one more question that wasn't on here because I'm genuinely curious. What do you think is the album you've played the most?
I would say Voodoo by D'Angelo. I had it on vinyl and I probably wore the record out.
Really?
Yeah, I listened to it enough. Blue by Joni Mitchell, I probably played the most out of any record of all time.
Who?
Joni Mitchell.
What genre is it?
Folk, she's a Canadian folk singer.
Okay. That's what excites me about music. It's still so much things that I have yet to experience.
It's like when, somebody hasn't seen, I don't know, Succession or something, or The Wire, you're like, oh, I'm just so happy
Sopranos
for you.
or anything.
Sopranos, I'm so happy you get to go watch that.
For the first time.
For the first time, Game of Thrones. The fact that you've now yet to go and discover Otis Redding's catalogue.
Right.
Probably, if not the greatest singer, then one of the greatest singers of all time. I'm jealous of you.
It is exciting for me because I feel like that's how I tap into a new palette or, for next project, whatever I work on. Like I got a whole new mindset, whole new headspace of just inspiration.